right, let's see. Does this work? You guys aren't seeing anything, are you? Okay, wait, is there an ad? You guys are having to watch an ad. Of course you are. Skip the ad. All right. Are people able to see me, I guess? Maybe? Maybe yes, maybe no. Possibly. All right, everyone. So, hey, we are trying something a little bit new here. What do I? Okay, I guess you can see me. While you're saying hello, somebody throw a Denver Sucks in the chat. Wow, that is okay. So it does show up. Okay, well, one question down. Thank you, Mary, by the way. Okay, everybody is chatting. That is hard to keep track of. Huh. All right, so I am using Restream right now for the first time ever, and we actually have our friend Tone Vase to thank for that. Jess, thank you for that teal pair. Appreciate that very much, very very much. This is really cool. As you can see, we have the ability to have two things on the screen at the exact same time. So now I don't just have to talk you through things. I can actually show you my answers to the questions, which is, thank you very much. Appreciate that. That's fantastic. The other thing I can do, and I'm just going to pick one of you. I can show people's chats on the page. That's Rattlehead saying Denver sucks. So that's pretty cool. Or let's say somebody asked earlier before I went live here why we had a KP5 event today. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the solar wind data from Discover. And what we're seeing is up here, the BZ, I don't want to do that. BZ tipped south actually last night, and it stayed south all day. Not to a significant degree. I mean, -10 is, it's not nothing, but it's not like, phi angle, sort of like a slow reversal over 24 hours, nothing major. Certainly nothing major in the density. Maybe, well, actually, wait, that is 100x density change. This is 0.1, that's 10 when we're talking about protons per cubic centimeter. So at the same time as the BZ tipped south, right? It tipped south here. This is when we bottomed out with protons. It's also when the phi angle went from being jittery to kind of a much straighter line. I wonder if that's a co-rotating interaction region. Anyway, down here, we're at about 0.1 per cubic centimeter. Doc Rock, thank you very much. All right, I want to come back to that in a second, Mark. We can see we get up here and we peak up around 10. So that's a factor of 100 difference right there. So, okay. BZ tip south, something actually almost stabilized with the phi angle, but there's like 100x density change there. By the way, so far I'm freaking loving this. This is awesome. All right, so Mark says, not sure if you're running a globalist operation to overrun the U.S. with people scared of doomsday, but then again, I love a good psyop and cliffhanger. Also, well underrated movie, by the way. Mark, I don't know even what to say to that. I don't have a clue what to say to that, actually. Sure is interesting, though. Tone, much appreciated. Thank you very much, brother. There's Tone. Do you guys know Tone Bass? I know a lot of you do. I already know a ton of you do. Tone was at the ranch for Founders Weekend. We got to hang out quite a bit. Did you guys see the interview he did with August Dunning? I don't know if you put, dude, I'm sorry if you didn't post it yet, but like he did it on Sunday. I don't know if you posted it yet, but honestly, Tone's great. And Tone is the one who turned me on to Restream here. So it better work. Tone's always good to have around. He's very level headed. He's a smart guy. I don't understand a damn thing about crypto, but if I wanted to understand what was going on in the crypto world, he's obviously one of the people I would be listening to. What the hell are we talking about? Oh yeah, Restream and how I can do this. What's also interesting, I don't know if you guys saw that gray loading bar that was back up on the sun here. This is the GOES 19 on the Space Weather Prediction Center website, and it just automatically updates when there's new images. You don't even have to do anything. You can just play it on a screen all day long. Lady Aurora was so red this AM in Minnesota. That's awesome. What software? Looks like Streamlabs. It's not even software. I'm streaming through the browser, logged in to Restream here. Am I worried about a Great Cascadia earthquake? Yeah, I'm worried about great earthquakes everywhere. Are the tickets to the movie premiere? Yeah, they really do cost a lot. You should see how much it costs to go to an actual movie premiere or a documentary premiere or the Cannes Film Festival or something like that. But we do appreciate your support. Stuff's hard around here. I know it's hard everywhere. But I would like to be able to keep doing the things I'm doing, tracking the things I'm tracking, and have none of my 3 children starve. Just if I'm aiming for things and keeping you up to date on my goals. Do phi angle flips in particular polarity direction plus or minus or vice versa tend to lead to higher proton density? It's not that it tends to lead to higher proton density, but normally it affects when the BZ actually tips north or tips south. So the fact that the phi angle actually did it at that exact moment, Birdie, good to see you. She was also at the ranch this weekend. Yeah, I really like this, by the way. Anyway, yeah, so I'm thinking there's a good chance that the phi angle flip had something to do with why we had the geomagnetic storm today. Tone is also texting me, and I've got notifications on X over here. Overwhelming. We can handle this, though. We got this. All right, what is that? What is your argument against the widely accepted theory that the magnetic North Pole will eventually settle in Siberia somewhere above the negative magnetic flux lobe at the boundary between Earth's core and the mantle? Because those flux lobes have been moving with the magnetic pole. Like, they're not just sitting there. It's not like the North Magnetic Pole is moving towards a lobe. Like, the lobes look like teardrops coming off of the pole, and they're moving with the magnetic pole. I don't love Ken Wheeler, but he actually shows that in motion in some of his YouTube videos. So they have no idea how the planet works. Not even close. Just like you don't need anything happening specifically directly under the South Atlantic anomaly at the core mantle boundary to create the South Atlantic anomaly. All you have to realize is that the South Atlantic anomaly is here. Here. Magnetic north is moving away from it. And then magnetic south is moving up this way, away from it. It's the point at which the magnetic poles are moving away from. And magnetic power, force, magnetism falls off at what? Distance cubed? So, split screen and red light makes you look like you're sitting too close to the sun. Well, for what's about to happen to Mockery, we're all sitting a little too close to the sun, but we don't have any option there. Grand, good to see you. I was wondering when you'd pop in, to be honest with you. Thanks for the live stream efforts during Founders Weekend. I really hope you guys like that stuff. One of them was a live stream. The other one was like I basically just recorded State of the Sun. I hope you guys liked it. It was fun. What does that say? I'll tell you what. I am watching YouTube blank. Some very interesting comments. So I needed to make sure that I was going to be able to see a super chat on Restream. And so I've got YouTube over there, the Sun over there, at Restream chat right here, and then me seeing the production over here. So I can see the chat in two places. The thing is, earlier, before I actually went live, somebody put something in that was, let's say, provocative. Oh, I wonder if that one comes through. Did it? I bet that just happened again. No way, no way, no way. Oh my God, it happened again. I'm sorry, I gotta do this here. I don't know if it's going to blank everything from you noticers, but noticers, your comments are not showing up on YouTube. They are showing up for me on Restream. Hand to God. Seriously. They're not showing up over there on YouTube. They are showing up for me. The other thing that happens is when you like delete or retract your comment on YouTube, it disappears. It doesn't disappear here. I can still see it. But the toothpaste does not go back in the tube. We'll see you on. I will see you in real life in a couple weeks, Grand. That's awesome. Oh, that's so cool. All right, let's see here. I've missed some super chats while I was in there. Elizabeth, thank you. How can we tell from now that the sun-facing side during the micronova will be Mesopotamia when the event will occur at a random time in the future? As I've mentioned before, we can tell which areas got hit in the past, both with the flash and with the shell impact. I can't for the life of me, from geophysics to math, imagine why it would be so, but it is. And I can't deny that the pattern's there, and that's next in line. It's the best I got for you, and it sucks to have to give that answer. How are the pole flip and the sun's micronova connected? Okay, Elizabeth, first of all, I am going to request that you do the homework, which is listed right below the video in the description box. At least I hope it is. I have no idea if I did that right here on Restream tonight. But it's underneath every morning video. And basically, it doesn't have anything to do with the magnetic pole flip. But the micronova induction is the only thing that can unlock the crust from the mantle, at which point the ice caps already wanting to be at the equator so that they can be at the position of greatest centrifugal force will be able to just yank the crust like that all the way over 90 degrees. Where can we find the math that shows the 90-degree crust rotation? This is a common question in the Facebook group. It depends on which one you're talking about, Bud. He's asking about where can we find the math on that 90-degree crust rotation. So you can find a good bit of it in World in Peril by Ken White, with some of the documents, but not really. The best I can do, Bud, and I don't know, but I'm sure you must have heard me say this so far at some point, but I got to read Einstein's letters to Velikovsky discussing disaster. Um, Velikovsky's favorite Thunderbolt was Michael Steinbacher. Michael Steinbacher's favorite person the last couple years of his life was me. Um, so Velikovsky gave them to Steinbacher. Steinbacher let me read them. I have no idea where they are now. I had no idea what I was reading when I was reading them, but I definitely remember finding that portion and reading it and thinking, oh, wow, that's interesting. I bet that's going to be terrible when it actually happens. I didn't think that a couple years later I was going to be damn sure that, oh, goodness, that's exactly what's going to happen. And thank goodness for the minor form of hyperthymesia. What do you, shit, I went too far. What do you estimate is the time between the impacts of the galactic current sheet? 12,000 years. Was great at the ranch last weekend. Oh, awesome. Katie Light, good to see you always. Scrolling. Thanks, Tone. I met Tone in Roatan. I definitely didn't pronounce that right. Any chance he goes down for a dive during the flip and surfaces a few hours later at the ranch? Question mark. The water better not let him do that. You always make my afternoon when you go live, Mob. That's a really nice thing to say. Some people really don't like it when I do that, but whatever. It both stresses me and is a stress release. The noticing will continue until the clown world disappears, says Dominic and Cindy Toscano. Yes, the noticing will continue. The toothpaste does not go back in the tube. I've never heard you talk about it before, but you have mentioned a few times over the last few weeks that the center of the U.S. will be an ocean after the flip. Is that due to the New Madrid Fault or some other source? The New Madrid Fault is going to play a role in it in terms of its liquefaction and its cracking of the crustal area when it goes off. But really, what's going to happen is it's the water weight from the Gulf of America and what makes it through there from the Atlantic, causing isostatic readjustment. Basically, the Gulf of America, once the water goes off, it's going to push up like this, and once the water's on top of the American, the center of the states, it's going to go down. Isostatic readjustment is a good thing to look into. Are you still going to add Myrtle Beach at the end of your tour schedule? I'm really looking at Vegas in March. A year from now, I may go home. Home. Black and gold. But damn, I'd love to do a Myrtle Beach one too. Have you heard of the mud flood theory? Well, yes, I have. Little season and or 700 years added to our timeline per Gunnar Heinsohn. Could mud flood cataclysms during that time be micro itty bitty nova related? Love the shirt. Thank you. I appreciate that. This is some people hate when I come in here in gym gear, and some people kind of like it. So this is my compromise. This is my form. This is Gym Rat Astrophysicist formal wear. Do you like it? Yes, I've heard of mud flood theory. That one's interesting. I have questions about the timings cycles of that. But those are horrifying events. I also don't think they're global. I think they're regional. Do you know if Svalbard global sea vault is at risk during a pole shift? Yeah, it's at risk of winding up at the equator when it's all said and done. Who knows if it's going to be destroyed in the process, but it's going to be at the equator when it's all said and done. Hi, Ben. I have 2 passports, New Zealand and Polish, and house in each country, both in the mountains. My question is there really no chance for survival in South Island of New Zealand when the flip happens? I'm obviously not like psychic or Jesus, but I would take Poland. Yeah. Especially if you're up in the mountains, like it can't be too densely populated, right? That sounds fantastic. Anyway, are bunkers a requirement or recommendation? A recommendation, but I would say that it could be a requirement for some places. Like, could you get really, really lucky, maybe. But presuming that the tsunamis aren't going to hit you, uh, there's going to be unfathomably bad hail. When the micronova shell impacts over the next 6 to 10 hours, the constituents are going to span from high energy protons to you know plasma globs to it's going to start raining that molten glass. The wind, the temperature extreme changes. There's a lot of reasons why you want to have at least some way to get underground. Or really learn to follow your animals when they look like they want to bug out from your farm, and follow them wherever they're going, because they probably know better than you do. And that's not me trying to be mean, like they know better than we do. Is there a scenario where the ice sheets melt prior to the micronova, causing oceans to rise and reducing the chance of crustal displacement? Yes, but it would require an alien species that was at least type 2, I would say, coming in and doing exactly that. And what if I wake up as a giraffe tomorrow? My book arrived today, very excited. Now they're saying the China Three Gorges Dam is slightly slowing Earth's rotation. I went over that when they were saying it, and the shifting axis thing. It's complete nonsense. It's absolutely expected with what's happening to the planet right now. So it is what it is. Speaking of your book arriving today, did the Canadian Post go on strike? If so, I don't know what to say. It'll get your book will get there when it gets there. Um, yeah, yeah. Your book will get there when it gets there. Like, they really go on strike? Like, that's just crazy to me. Um, any chance for a Northeast New York visit on tour? A large population of us SOs here that won't be headed west for a few years still. I mean, Hamdurf, all my winter tour events are going to be on Saturday. Make a weekend of it, come down for one. Or the closest I'm coming to you, like I said, in about a year from now, I'm going to be probably going to Pittsburgh. Haven't been there for a while, may never go back again. But that's about as close to Northeast as I'm planning to go for now, unless I got a great reason. How would you rank stacking gold, silver, and cash being most valuable or useful after the solar kill shot? After the solar kill shot, silver and gold, obviously. Um, Obviously, gold would be worth more, but it's harder to get. If you spend the same amount of money, you should have the same equivalent of precious metals. Having it in a smaller denomination form like silver is valuable. What if all you have are these gold coins and you need to go buy a loaf of bread or barter for a loaf of bread? Like, what are you going to do? Like, break off a tiny piece of your gold coin, keep a tally on a piece of paper? Where are you getting paper? So where were you getting something to write with? So I have no idea. Jeff Grimes, that's a frustrating question to even think about, but thank you for asking it. What are the differences in the GOES magnetometer graph between 16 and 18? I don't know what you're asking there. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so let's click that. You mean, I love that I can do this. This is so cool. GOES magnetometer. There you are. So they're presenting 19 and 18 here. And the only difference between the lines is where the satellites are. And that's the GOES 19 satellite versus the GOES 18 satellite. I know 16 is up there. I actually am not sure off the top of my head how you access it through their public site here. I know where it is through the back end, the services data page. But in terms of getting it in chart form like this, I don't know where you find the GOES 16 data, but 19 and 18 are great. By the way, if you go to the Space Weather Prediction Center like this, here's the sun we're watching, click the play button, and then click the sun. and it just pops right up and it takes up the whole screen. And you can literally watch the sun. And I don't know if you guys have been seeing it, but every couple of seconds, or not seconds, pardon me, every couple of minutes, like that gray loading bar comes across the sun. That's it literally loading the new images. So you can literally watch the sun progress all day long. So isn't there going to be an ice age after supernova? No, but there's going to be a rapid freeze that is terrible but doesn't last very long after the micronova. But yeah. Oh, there's the people pissed off about Canada. There you go. First thing I heard was you're taking Poland based. Hi, Nick. How are you doing? Junk, silver, then salt. Salt's going to be important. Ben, it's Wake and Bake Observer. I started my nonprofit and we are going to Brazil to begin our work with Chief. Oh my God, why are you doing this to me? Nixie Waka Yawanawa. We will be in the rainforest for 40 days. Calistoga, God bless. I wish you the best of luck and safe return. Because what the fuck else could I possibly say to that? Definitely give Chief Nixie Waka Yawanawa. Yawanawa. Nixie Waka Yawanawa. Nixie Waka. Yawanawa. That's awesome. Give him or her, whoever, give them my best. Tell them they have an amazing name. And there's a whole bunch of people in America who know his name, know of his greatness because of you. You have been spreading his story and his fame. His Barker. I know. I know. What the hell's wrong with me? I got my book this week, Ben. Going to make plans to make it up to the ranch sometime next spring. Danny, can't wait to see you. Any plans to come to Canada on your tour? No. No. I would love to go to Alberta. I'd love to go to Manitouwadge too, but that's in Ontario. I don't see myself going to Canada anytime soon. Anytime soon. Split screen makes it like a real class now. Yeah, if I get some questions that require me to pull something up, they sure do. Bertie, I love that you enjoyed seeing August this weekend. He looks good. He looks a little younger every time I see him. Worst case scenario, he looks exactly the same. And alas, he is getting older chronologically, allegedly. The date of his birth keeps extending further and further into past times. So, where's the salt? Come on. Well, nobody's pissing me off. You want some salt? Make an attempt on me intellectually. Let's see what happens. 11 in Queensland, Australia. 34C, live like a Viking. You know who else was at the ranch this weekend? Susie, live like a Viking, although that wasn't her that said that. That was somebody, I'm presuming, from Queensland, Australia. Don't sleep on the whole peppercorns as post-event barter goods. Salt is great, but you need peppercorns for taste as well. That's fair. Cool seeing you up your live stream game. Well, let's not be too hasty. I'm not even 30 minutes into this thing yet. A lot could go wrong. And yeah, a lot can go wrong. Thanks for arranging cut month. First month on carnivore has been great. Looking forward to dry fasting next month. That's fantastic. We are actually going to do a dry fasting thing at the ranch next year. A whole bunch of us are going to do it together. And August is coming for it, obviously. I looked into laser engravers to leave schematics. Yes, actually, I am planning to have some things etched in stone and have them in a safe place. Is the micronova prior to supernova? There is no supernova. Wow. You're like the third or fourth person who's mentioned that. Where are people getting supernova from? The sun's going to micronova. It's not. Is the Wallace line magnetic? I've thought of that. I don't even know how to begin analyzing it. What a great question, Thomas. What a cool question. Every time it like pops into my head, I get frustrated in my complete inability to make headway towards one answer or another. Open mystery. Damn, Thomas, good question. But yes, I moved on from that one thing too quickly. One more day in cut month here. For those who are curious, no, I'm not done tomorrow. But for those who accepted my 1 month challenge, you guys are done tomorrow. I hope you stayed the course. I mean, if you cheated, the only person you're cheating is yourself. Nobody's coming to check on you. You're not going to get in trouble. But I mean, I hope you did it, and I hope it was worth it. I hope. Not only do I hope you look and feel a little better, I hope you understand that you just got good practice. The first time you go, you know, 2 or 3 days without food, or the first time you eat a third of your calories that you're supposed to over a month, shouldn't be in the disaster scenario. 1 second. Hello, Adrian from Suspect Sky. What can I do for you?
Hey, what's going on, man?
I'm live right now. What are you doing?
You
Everybody's
know, I thought you were live by the way you answered the phone.
yeah.
I will let you go. We're just calling to catch up. I'm back from Phoenix. So,
Oh, lovely. That was a nice rainstorm you sent me a picture of while there.
yeah, it was pretty wild. So who are you live with? What's the scoop?
Oh, I'm just on a live stream. There's 1,300 people watching us just talk to each other on the phone.
Oh, geez. Not ready for this.
Okay. Well, hey, I'll talk to you tomorrow then.
All right, sounds good, brother.
All right. Bye.
Later.
Cool. Cool. Yeah. It's actually been a cool couple of days. August was at the ranch. Tone was at the ranch. He just decided he's going to just make it rain on the chat earlier at the start of the show. Adrian, Suspect Sky here on YouTube, just calls me in the middle of the live stream. I don't know. It's fun. My kids were there all weekend. It was great. And I mean, like, you guys saw, like, the live stream went well. State of the Sun. I'll say this. Thank you guys for letting me know that you appreciated that video. I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to do that talk. Kat insisted I do that talk. And I was wrong. Apparently, seeing things like the cosmic rays and the thermospheric climate index and the radio flux alongside and compared with the sunspot cycle and the sort of deeper dive into certain topics was something a lot of you wanted to see. And I had no idea that was the case. Yeah. So really glad you guys enjoyed that, because I got the message. I got the message that you liked that. Just a man patiently waiting for his book. Bush Ninja, I'm sorry. I hope it comes soon. And I hope you're not in Canada, because it's not coming soon if it's in Canada. What's the likelihood that magnetic north continues to point directly at Polaris post flip? Not likely. Oh, Bertie, thank you for saying my kids are beautiful. They were a handful at times this weekend, weren't they? Kids act like they own the place. I'd also enjoy watching you do some math. I heard you like math. I love math. What kind of math do you want to watch me do? I mean, you weren't very specific. We can start at how blazingly fast we do differential equations and just move upward from there. How's that? Okay. Well, all right. So here we're a little. Are we? Are we a little more? I don't know. Hold on. I don't want to misspeak here. How long are we going on here? No, I have no idea how long we've been on. I feel like we've been on for more than a half hour at this point. Grand. Glad to hear that they've all arrived safely. Okay, we're a half hour into trying something new here with Restream. Do we like this or not? And keep in mind, we haven't even used this for anything cool yet. Like, hey, guys, did you know that? Oh, nice ad. Douchebags. Do you know that Campy Flegry's getting? All right, do I have to really do that? That's annoying. Campy Flegry. Oh, I got to do this too. All right. See, I'm getting used to it. I'm still getting used to it. Okay. We see me there in the corner. Hell yeah, this is badass. All right, yeah. Campy Flegry's got a lot of stuff going on. So obviously, a lot of you guys know nobody is more afraid of Campy Flegry than I am. Shit, didn't mean to do that. I'm learning. I'll get this. Okay, I promise I'll get better at this. This is my first time ever trying. I literally Tone told me about this 2 days ago. I downloaded this 2 hours ago, or I joined up with Restream 2 hours ago. You guys know I'm the first person who said Campy Flegry is the scariest volcano on Earth for the coming disaster cycle. But even I will say the fear of an imminent eruption is probably underwhelming. I would have to say it's underwhelming to me right now. And it's not necessary because there's a very clear signal that activity is brewing and that large scale ground movement is afoot, so to speak. But at the same time, there's also a very specific signature when magma is rapidly accelerating up to the highest point, getting ready to somewhere meet the water and explosively instantly turn it all to steam and have the explosive eruption that I'm worrying is going to kill all of Europe in a couple of hours. That hasn't happened yet. All of the pre-signatures are there. Once it starts happening, it could be minutes, it could be months. But it had that last final scary thing hasn't started going yet. There's no evidence yet that the magma's getting up to the highest point, and the harmonic tremors are still at least a couple kilometers, away. So I don't know. Does that help at all? So yeah, we can do cool stuff on the live stream now. No, I don't want to be on this side. I'll be over here. Jackass. Okay. Oh, we gotta pull you up. Yeah. Center frame, baby. Yeah. Okay. How many super chats did I just miss? Liz Sapp, what's up? Besides the ranch, how can we watch the documentary? A couple of weeks after the premiere, it's just going to be free for everybody to watch on the internet here. Liz, come to the ranch, though. Bush Ninja. Adrian, and now you're dropping in on the chat. Do you guys know, not only does Suspect Sky have a badass YouTube channel, and his website is very cool, Adrian is been essential to everything we do here and everywhere, and he's my best friend from childhood. What are the odds? What will Campy Flegry do? Birdie, destroy Europe and globally impact the climate. My brother and his family live in Germany. Do you have any current details on the Beaufort Gyre collapse? I also received your book. One for me and one for my neighbor. That's fantastic, Daniel. I don't have any official data, but the North Atlantic cold blob and some of the activity of the AMOC are suggesting to me that Beaufort has begun to release. And you may want to check out On the Pulse with Silky. She's detailed some new Campy Flegree developments today. I actually think I saw some of the things about that. What I'm basing my stuff on are there were actually two recent papers that have been published. And I mean like recent, that both are looking for that last sign of the magma ascent, its final ascent up to meet the water. But, hey, I guess technically those papers are probably written several weeks before publication, so maybe something else happened. I will check, okay? I don't know who that is, but I'll check. Somehow. All right, this was actually pretty cool. Larry Chrysler, I'm sorry, you're still waiting on the book. We are going as fast as we can. You have no idea how long it takes to do all of this stuff, and it's just Kat and I doing it up here, and then Mike and Barb are helping out down at the ranch for the orders that ordered more than just the book. Like some people ordered the book and a hat, or a book and a shirt, or something like that. So it's hard. There's thousands, and it's not like it's the only thing we're required to do during the day. Mike and Barb, they're day-to-day ops at the ranch. Kat and I, we have tons of stuff that we have to do for the ranch, for Space Weather News, and we're trying to keep 3 little children alive while bouncing them between our houses. It's not easy. Like, I don't understand. Like, we're both performing at like miracle level right now. Anyway, can you tell the Carrington app guy that the sun hasn't updated since the 12th? That's because the Solar Dynamics Observatory website is down. They had a server failure. By the way, you don't need them. You can just get the data directly from Lockheed Martin. They put a ton of effort and probably money into creating that free public access to every solar data, image, video, everything. And they didn't have to do that. I don't even think somebody told them to do it. I think they were just like, let's do this. And they just made it public and free. So yeah, it's on the Lockheed Martin site. Yeah, I know. The moment you bring up any defense company, I'm like, but still, this blind squirrel acorn thing. What is it? Okay, hold on, wait. What is this red light therapy you're using? New channel sponsor, good for catastrophe preppers. Certainly not a new channel sponsor. I just use a red light therapy, a red light booth that is, at a place near where I actually get groceries. I don't have one here at home other than this little thing right here, but this is just a tiny little piece of crap. It's not really useful. Hi from the Four Corners. Got my books in Tumblr. They are awesome. Thank you. My question is probably stupid, but asking anyway. Knowing the sun affects the weather, is it possible to predict if we're going to have a wet winter or not? No. I think it's like a 60-40 thing, which to me means nothing. 60-40 might as well be 50-50 to me. I would say there's a 60-40 chance that it's going to start milder and kick our butts on the way down. Amazon has Weatherman's Guide to the Sun for $1,500. My goodness, who would do that? Who? That's somebody who got one of my old books and then you know what though? It might not be them doing it. They might have like dynamic pricing on, and some weird stuff happens. Do you guys remember what happened to World in Peril after the first time I ever mentioned it? It was going for like $40,000. What brand collagen supplement do you take? I get the one straight from Lifetime. When you work with a trainer, you get a discount on their stuff, and their stuff is pretty good to me. Can you please date my friend Heather? She owns my oxygen chamber and is a certified acupuncturist. She lives near Boulder. You would live forever. Tell her to shoot her shot, Neuro questions. Free red light therapy. Sit under a tree while it's sunny. See the sunrise and sunset every day. Post flip biohacking tip. That is true. I like that we got some red light chatter in here. Yeah. All right. I see people talking about the food. I do get a ton of collagen in food as well. I make sure of it. Monty B, if he dates, he'll get distracted. Yeah, I promise I won't start doing that. Goodness gracious. All right, guys. I would say this experiment was a success, right? I mean, right? This worked. Right? I think it did. I think this worked. That's badass. All right. That is so cool. I remembered in another live you mentioned that electricity wouldn't work for 400 years. Why would that be the case? I said we wouldn't redevelop it for hundreds to thousands of years. It might be longer, actually. How long did it take us last time to develop electricity? Almost 12,000 years. So, yeah. All right. Well, cool. This is how we're going to be live streaming from now on. Guys, I appreciate you coming on this evening. I really appreciate the patience while I was, figuring out how to do things like this and other stuff. Very cool. Very cool. We're going to stop screen sharing right now, I think, so I can properly say goodbye, good night. And yes, you should be buying books on chemistry and other sciences for future generations. And don't forget math and architecture and everything, making shoes, make everything. Guys, I will see you in the morning for the daily show. Be safe, everyone.